908 clues have come and gone, but 26 new ones are headed your way as part of this 34th episode of Disney 100 Jeopardy. Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and thanks so much for being here. As you can tell, I'm back in the studio, which means I'm not at Walt Disney World, which also means no more annoying monorail sounds or intrusive ferry horns or majestic Grand Floridian in the background to distract you from the task at hand, which is acing this episode, going 26 for 26 for 30,000 points and a 100 on the test. I believe you can do it. No chance. No chance. Here are the rules on your screen. If this is your first time playing, welcome in. If it's not, welcome back. And if you want to cheat, go right ahead. I won't tell anyone because I won't know you are doing so. In last week's episode 33, the final Jeopardy category was Mark Elliott VHS voiceovers. And if you don't know who Mark Elliott was, take a listen.
And now, our feature presentation.
Man, R.I.P. to the legend Mark Elliott. He was a huge part of my childhood, and if you're playing a Disney Jeopardy video on YouTube, chances are you have a lot of memories of that voice as well. That category kicks things off as we take a look at the board to see what you'll be quizzed on in this episode 34. And there's category number 1. Just like last week, I'll play you the audio of an old VHS trailer, and you'll have to tell me which movie Mark is talking about. Second category, Stan Lee Cameos. And your third category is the Pizza Planet truck. Yes, it's probably Pixar's biggest Easter egg, the fact that the Pizza Planet truck appears in every single Pixar movie. I think it's every single Pixar movie. Maybe it's not. I'm pretty sure it is. Essentially what I did was I looked back, found different scenes in which the truck appeared in different films. I'll describe the scene to you and you'll have to name which movie I'm talking about. Let's move on to the fourth category. It's your Disney Parks category of the week. Cue clues. So I've already done categories on pre-shows on Disney rides and obviously category every week on something relating to Disney parks. This is about the queue that you wait in before you get on the ride. So I'll describe something about the queue and you'll have to tell me which ride. I'm talking about both Disney World and Disneyland. I see you Disneyland people. I know. I was just a cast member for 6 years at Disney World. So I obviously have a bias, even though I actually think Disneyland's better. So keep that between us. Moving on, it's your fifth and final category, the legendary Hercules. 5 clues about the Renaissance hit of the 1990s. Okay, it is time for the cupcake round, the easiest round of the game. Hopefully you go 5 for 5. Ace this category on your way to a perfect score in this episode 34. We take a look at the board and kick things off. It's Mark Elliott VHS voiceovers.
Became a milestone in animation. Adapting a 17th century fairy tale, Disney artists strive to create a thoroughly charming, dramatic, and entertaining movie for all ages.
The correct answer is Sleeping Beauty.
Became a milestone in animation. Adapting a 17th century fairy tale, Disney artists strive to create a thoroughly charming, dramatic, and entertaining movie for all ages. Sleeping Beauty, rated G.
Here comes your first Stan Lee cameo. You'll have to name the movie that it took place in.
Don't make me come down there, you punk.
Hey, Gary! How you doing?
Marjorie, how are you? How's your mother?
You've got 5 seconds. The correct answer is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Marjorie, how are you? How's your mother?
Let's go! Let's go! I'm good.
We're on to your first clue from Pizza Planet Truck. The first time you see the iconic truck is during this film, where the movie's 2 main characters hitch a ride inside of it. The Pizza Planet truck made its first appearance in Toy Story.
Now, you're sure this space freighter will return to its port of origin once it jettisons its food supply?
Uh-huh. And when we get there, we'll be able to find a way to transport you home.
Here comes Q Clues for 200. The stretching room at Disneyland works as an elevator and brings you down. Walt Disney World's just stretches upwards. The attraction is the Haunted Mansion.
Is this haunted room actually stretching? Or is it your imagination?
And here comes your final clue of the Cupcake Round. It belongs to Hercules. Bless my soul, Herc was on this name for an individual loaf of bread. What is a roll?
Oh, yeah. Bless my soul. Herc was on a roll. Person of the week.
Hercules, one of the most underrated soundtracks in Disney films, I think. It's got a bunch of hits. Go the Distance, obviously. Meg's song, I Won't Say. I think it's just called I Won't Say, and then the parentheses, I'm in love. So good. Hercules is great, and obviously the muses are awesome as well. All right, let's move on to the 400-point round now and boost the difficulty just a little bit. Here comes another Mark Elliott VHS voiceover.
The story of a father who couldn't be closer to driving his son crazy. Now, they're getting a crash course in becoming best friends.
It's Bigfoot.
The correct answer is a Goofy movie.
Walt Disney Pictures presents
Come on, this is gonna be fun.
the story of a father who couldn't be closer to driving his son crazy. Now, they're getting a crash course in becoming best friends.
It's Bigfoot.
Could you back up a bit, Mr. Foot? You're out of focus.
We're on to Stan Lee for 400.
Are you Tony's stank?
That one's probably my favorite Stan Lee cameo. I'm sure it's a lot of people's favorite. The correct answer is Captain America Civil War.
Are you Tony's stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank. You're in the right place. Thank you for that. Never dropping that, by the way. Table for one, Mr. Stank.
Here comes Pizza Planet Truck's second clue. The world may be over, and Earth might be humanless, but the truck's frame still stands tall in this Pixar film. The world is humanless in WALL-E. Here comes your second clue from the cues. Will you enter the green queue or the orange queue? Two separate experiences within this one attraction. Hate me all you want, it's one of my favorite rides. What is Mission Space? Here comes your 10th clue of the game, it's from Hercules. As Hercules grew in popularity, fans were seen wearing sandals inspired by Herc, called these. I guess they were also partially inspired by Michael Jordan because they were known as the Air Herc. After Robin Williams knocked it out of the park in '92 with the pop culture references, Hercules did a great job carrying that torch. The Air Hercs, the American Express card, everything. So funny, so funny. Hercules is great. All right, let's move on to the 600-point round. We're nearing the halfway point. We're back to another Mark Elliott VHS voiceover.
And abandoned in the French countryside.
They're gone.
By a greedy butler out to steal their fortune.
What's gonna happen to us?
All right, so hot take here. The correct answer is the Aristocats. The villain in this scenario is the butler who is upset that the woman that he served left her inheritance to cats, to felines, as opposed to giving him a dime. So I'm not saying he's right. He's not right. I love cats. I'm a huge animal person, but you know, I kind of get it. I kind of get why he's upset because, you know, she left it for cats who don't know the difference between $1 and a piece of loose leaf. But I digress.
They've been kidnapped and abandoned in the French countryside.
They're gone.
By a greedy butler out to steal their fortune.
What's gonna happen to us?
Now it's up to O'Malley, the streetwise, smooth-talking alley cat, to save the day.
Yeah.
Let's move on now. Here comes another Stan Lee cameo.
Hey, man. Make love, not war.
It was a quick one, but a lot of you may have seen it considering it's one of the biggest films of all time. The correct answer is Avengers Endgame. Here comes Pizza Planet truck number 3. Since there are no cars in this Pixar film's timeline, animators worked in a wooden carving of the truck in this movie. It can be seen in the Witch's Workshop in the 2012 hit film Brave.
Oh, that's stuffed.
Staring at rude.
The ghost talking?
That's not all I can do. La 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 la.
You're a witch! Wood carver.
On to Q Clue for 600. Just getting indoors doesn't mean you're close to boarding this attraction. In fact, the queue for this Disneyland ride is so long, it brings you beneath the railroad tracks before leading you into the show building that sits just behind Pirates of the Caribbean. The correct answer is a ride that a lot of you know is one of my favorites ever, the Indiana Jones Adventure. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the first ride. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. But I think this was the first Disneyland attraction to be built outside the train tracks. Because, you know, Walt wanted everything within the train tracks to hide, you know, like IHOP and Denny's right across the street in Anaheim and all that. So this one went outside the train tracks, but you wouldn't know if you're just getting in line, because you get in line in Adventureland and then very subtly go down and under the train track. So, all right, let's move on now. Here comes your final clue of the 600-point round. It belongs to Hercules. According to them, the Muses are the goddesses of this. They're not the goddesses of music, they are the goddesses of the arts.
We are the Muses, goddesses of the arts.
So there you go, 15 clues down, 11 remain. But before we get to the 800-point round, I have to say thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every single one of you. When I started this series a few months ago, I really had no plan on how long it was going to last. And then interacting with all of you in the comments section really is what keeps me wanting to chug along this train track and bang out new episodes every week. So if you want me to keep marching towards the finish line of, what should we make the finish line? 100 episodes? Do me a favor, scroll down, subscribe, click that bell icon. Hello, bell. That was okay. That wasn't my best work. This way I see the subscriptions and I know that making these episodes is something that we all want to see continue happening. Did that sentence make sense? I think it makes sense. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, thanks so much. That's the point of the story. Let's move on now to the 800-point round. It starts with Mark Elliott VHS voiceovers.
He's growing up, falling in love, learning all about the world around him.
There might be danger.
Quick, Feline, jump!
And now he's back, along with some of Disney's most beloved characters.
That's from my favorite movie as a child. What is Bambi?
Bambi, he's growing up, falling in love, learning all about the world around him.
There might be danger.
Bambi!
Quick, Feline, jump!
And now he's back.
Here comes another Stan Lee cameo.
You know what? I think I'll just take these, bring them over here, and hold on for safekeeping.
You'd be able to see that cameo in Black Panther.
Claw is leaving out that door with me. You've been warned.
3 crabs.
Hey, you won.
You know what? I think I'll just take these, bring them over here, and hold on for safekeeping.
On to Pizza Planet for 800. I hope it has insurance. In this film, the truck gets bumped by another car, causing its iconic rocket to fly off. That would be from Cars 3.
I'm flying! No, I'm not flying! I got it!
On to the 800-point clue for cues. After weaving your way through the first part of the cue, you'll come across Hondo Onaka, who will give you the details about the storyline on your upcoming attraction. It's a relatively new ride. It's located in both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. The correct answer is Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run.
Yes, yes. Hello, hello, my friends. I am Hondo Onaka, and this is Onaka Transport Solutions.
Here comes your final clue of the 800-point round. Belongs to Hercules. Hercules wasn't Phil's first heroic protege. He trained this hero before he suffered a devastating injury to his ankle area. The correct answer is Achilles.
Don't you pea-brains get it? This kid is the genuine article.
Hey, isn't that the goat man who trained Achilles?
Watch it, pal. Yeah, you're right. Hey, nice job on those heels. You missed the spot. I got your heel right here. Wipe that stupid grin off your face, you
All right, 20 clues are down, but 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, it is time for the most overly dramatic, soundtrack-infused, unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game, the 1,000-point round. I'll tell you, this 1,000-point round, it's getting more and more intense every week. Any of you, by the way, acing this yet? 20 for 20? 6 to go? Anyone? Not one? Oh, you. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. I used to hate when they did that in movies, like Dora the Explorer. Anyway, let's move on. Here comes your first question from the 1,000-point round. Mr. Mark Elliott.
Now, you can join a brave young warrior and his friends.
I wasn't afraid.
As they battle an army of darkness to save the world.
So growing up, I was taught that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So with that lesson firmly in my mind, I'd like to tell you that the correct answer is The Black Cauldron. What is The Black Cauldron? Which is a Disney movie that I think stinks. I think it stinks. Sorry, I don't think it's good. And then it got followed by The Great Mouse Detective, which is a masterpiece. But honestly, anything could have followed it, and it would have felt like Gone with the Wind, because that's how much I didn't like Black Cauldron. So I know there are a few Black Cauldron fans out there, 3 or 4 of you guys. So sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean to, but I have my rankings, and that out of the 61 Disney animated features, I probably ranked like 57 or something like that. So. Let's move on now to Stan Lee Cameos for 1,000. That awesome introduction led into Captain Marvel. Disney and Marvel decided to do it after Stan Lee's passing. Let's move on now to the final clue from Pizza Planet truck. Nice ink. A man can be seen with a Pizza Planet truck tattoo in this movie. We're going full circle. We started with Toy Story. The correct answer here is Toy Story 4.
Rad.
Here comes your 1,000-point clue from Q Clues. Instead of waiting in a standard queue, this ride at Walt Disney World added an entire queue playground and will page you when it's time to ride. The correct answer is Dumbo the Flying Elephant.
It's time! We're ready for you!
And finally, here comes the last clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. Belongs to Hercules for 1,000. Meg sold her soul to Hades in an effort to do this. The correct answer is save her boyfriend's life.
Hey, I've sworn off manhandling.
Well, you know, that's good, because that's what got you into this jam in the first place, isn't it? You sold your soul to me to save your boyfriend's life. And how does this creep thank you? By running off with some babe.
If you said ex-boyfriend, that works as well. Okay, 25 clues are down. 1 remains, but it is the most important clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the next 7 days. That's right, it is time for Final Jeopardy. So, let's see what the category is. Soundtracks and albums. So this isn't going to be about an individual Disney song, but rather an entire soundtrack or album. How confident are you? Let's see it in your wager. Okay, time is up. It is time to reveal the final clue of the game in Final Jeopardy. Here we go. For 1 week in August of 2015, the soundtrack to this Disney Channel film reached the top of the Billboard 200 list, selling more albums than anyone else over the course of 7 days. Good luck. Time is up. So this fact blew my mind. The Billboard 200 list is a weekly list revealed by, you guessed it, Billboard magazine, that tells you what the top selling album of the week was. So in 2015, Taylor Swift obviously dominated a bunch with 1989. The Weeknd was there, Selena Gomez topped the list. But in the middle of August of 2015, the soundtrack to Descendants was the top selling album in America.
I'm rotten to the core.
Unbelievable. The #1 selling album in America in the middle of August of 2015. Soundtracks and albums will carry over into next week's episode 35 of Disney 100 Jeopardy. I hope you'll tune in then. That's going to do it for this episode, though. If you like what you saw, I said it before, do me a favor, subscribe, click that bell icon. Hello, bell. I think that one was better. This way you're notified every time we come out with brand new episodes. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I will see you this upcoming week for Inside 300. And after that, it's episode 35 of Disney 100 Jeopardy. Until then.
Bye-bye.